Most people think risk is what destroys investors. But I've learned that it's not risk itself, it's unpreparedness. It's walking into a high-stakes decision with zero backup plan, chasing a dream but forgetting reality. That's what truly destroys investors. I'm not trying to eliminate risk in real estate. I'm trying to train for it. Like a fighter preparing for a brutal match, I know I can't predict every punch, but I can condition myself not to fold when one lands. Before I spend a single dollar of my $100,000, I ask one question. If everything goes wrong, will I still be standing? If the answer is no, then I haven't prepared enough. When I dropped out of my DBA program, people thought I lost my mind. To them, the degree was the path. The credentials, the certainty, the letters after my name, that was the safety net. But for me, real estate became the true classroom. And risk became the tuition. I knew I needed a system to not just survive real estate, but to grow stronger through it. That's what this video is about. How I'm preparing right now to make sure risk doesn't destroy me, even before I own my first property. Let's start with the first layer, external risk. This is what most beginners think of when they hear the word risk. Property values drop. Tenants stop paying. Roof leaks. Interest rates spike. A new law changes everything overnight. These things are outside of your control. But being outside your control doesn't mean they're unpredictable. You can't stop a storm, but you can build a better roof. That's why I have a 6-month reserve saved. Not in stocks, not in crypto. In a boring, safe place I can access within 24 hours. That's not a suggestion, that's mandatory. If you can't survive 6 months of zero rental income, you're playing a dangerous game. Here's what else I do before choosing a market. I analyze job growth trends for the last 5 years. I study population migration patterns. I compare rent-to-income ratios. If tenants are spending more than 35% of their income on rent, that's a red flag. I look up eviction filings and crime maps. I read local headlines. If there's constant political instability, I stay out. I don't chase hype markets. I chase durable demand. Next, internal risk. This is the killer no one talks about. The deal looks great. Numbers check out. But internally, the investor is a mess. They're emotional. They're trying to impress someone. They're under pressure. They feel behind. And they pull the trigger because they're tired of waiting. That's how people lose money. They think they're investing. But really they're reacting. Here's how I guard myself against myself. I built what I call my emotional checkpoint process. I never invest on impulse. I always write a short journal entry before making a decision, even if it's just 3 sentences. I ask myself, would I recommend this exact deal to my younger brother? If I'm afraid to walk away, that's a sign it's the wrong deal. If I'm chasing the deal just because I haven't closed one yet, I pause. The truth is, no spreadsheet can protect you from your own brain. Only self-awareness can. Now let's talk strategic risk.
This is the quiet assassin.
It's what happens when you don't know how you'll exit. Or you don't define what success looks like. Or you build a plan with no flexibility. Here's what I do. I define a deal kill switch. If rent drops 20% and the property goes negative, what do I do next? I map 3 exit routes. Hold long-term sell within 5 years. Refinance in year 3. If none of those options work, I'm out.
I avoid properties that rely on appreciation. If it doesn't cash flow on day 1, I won't touch it, no matter how beautiful the neighborhood is.
Strategic risk is also about alignment. Does this deal fit my 5-year wealth plan?
Or is it a distraction? If it's not in alignment, it's not worth my energy, no matter how tempting it is.
Here's my personal risk checklist before any offer. Emergency fund, 6 months minimum. Market, population growth, plus stable job sectors. Rent, buffer, survive, 20% drop and still cash flow. Contractor ready. Walkthrough, booked before LOI. CapEx, I know year 1 repair cost. Loan terms, fixed rate with backup lender options. Management, local team or personal capacity. Exit strategy, 3 clearly defined options. My emotions, journaling, complete fit to vision. Will this help me reach 1 namal on take home?
If I check all those, I proceed. If even one is off, I wait.
Here's something that changed my entire outlook. The book Antifragile by Nassim Taleb. It taught me that systems shouldn't just survive stress. They should get better because of it.
Think about that.
Imagine your portfolio growing stronger every time it's tested, not weaker. That's what I'm trying to build. That's why I'm spending weeks preparing.
Not because I'm afraid,
but because I want this to last. Let me give you an example. Let's say interest rates jump by 1.5% next year. Does my deal still cash flow?
If not, I wasn't really investing. I was gambling.
Or what if my tenant stops paying for 3 months?
Do I have reserves?
Do I have a backup plan? Do I have the mental calm to handle it without panic? That's what preparation looks like. And no, preparation doesn't mean perfection. It just means I'll bend, not break. It means I've pre-decided how to respond. Not just react in the heat of the moment. Most new investors think this step is optional. But that's exactly why most new investors don't last. They don't build systems. They chase shortcuts. And they get wiped out by the first unexpected event.
That's why I'm showing you this now, before I buy anything.
Because if you only follow my deals and not my mindset, you'll miss the most important part. Mindset is what keeps you in the game long enough for the strategy to work. Let me leave you with this. You don't prepare for risk because you're weak. You prepare because you're smart.
Risk is a constant.
But loss is a variable. How you plan determines the difference between temporary pain and permanent failure. This is the Dropout Investor.
I'm risking 100K, real money, not theory.
And I'm showing you the real preparation behind the scenes. So when I finally make my move, you'll know it wasn't random. It was engineered. Subscribe if you want to follow every stage of this journey. From mindset to money, from theory to deal execution. Comment below. What kind of risk are you preparing for right now? Recommended reading: Antifragile by Nassim Taleb, the book that changed my thinking forever. More real estate prep episodes coming next.
Thanks for being part of this.